All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chain. Let's cover a few things in the market because we have been going through it over the last few weeks, few months here in the crypto market. But let's take another look at everything and what is going on. So, we're going to start with Bitcoin majors as usual, then get into a few tweets, talk about stuff like that. And I will leave you guys off with that. Expect over the next few days, few weeks, I will be covering a lot more altcoins, but I definitely want to make sure that sentiment is going to be a lot better because I feel like it is definitely in a difficult spot at the current moment. Just be continuously trying to jump into coin after coin. Sometimes you just have to wait it out. Let the market play out. Let it do what it's got. Let it do what it's got to do. So, anyways, let's cover some stuff. With Bitcoin here, I've been saying and I've been wanting to see this actually chop for a bit here. But it's been even just buying into anything over the last few weeks, even buying dips to catch a bounce, even that alone has been very difficult to hold anything. But the fact that we are still up here holding is good, but this is kind of going to be make or break because over the next few days, if we do not see Bitcoin continue to chop and then break back above, this is going to either come down incredibly quickly or we're going to get a decent actual bounce towards where I want to see. And that is what I'm going to, that's what I'm still going by in the current moment. I do think we will likely see a bounce, but again, you have to be cautious at points like this. You should not be full porting anything, like I've been saying for a while as well. We got ETH as well holding right on top of this support. Same thing though. With something like ETH, I still feel it is fairly undervalued for where it is at the current moment. But like I said, at the same time, sentiment is incredibly down bad. So anything could be happening in crypto, but whatever Bitcoin wants to do is going to tie right into ETH, tie right into Solana, as you guys would probably know. So let's cover a few tweets as well, because we got a few things that I want to cover. So even though sentiment is down bad, we have Vanguard allowing trillions to be flooding in if necessary, right? To allow clients to buy crypto ETFs starting tomorrow. It is wild because I feel like we are truly getting shaken out, being tested further than I think anyone's ever done in a financial market, I swear. While everything else is lining up in many ways for institutions to be starting to bid, to be looking at altcoins, things like that. It's a very weird timeline that we are living through in this market right now. Because it's like part of me wants to just be hyper bearish going into the next 6 months, 12 months. But at the same point, it's like technically, as long as we're going to hold this and push a little higher, and with potential, even better macro factors going into December, we definitely could have a fairly strong relief bounce at some point, which is still what I expect. But keep in mind that, again, Bitcoin price is probably not just going to keep going up forever. Even if we do get some bullish news in December, I have a feeling this is actually what is going to take us into that bounce that we're kind of waiting for. So we have to be on our toes from here, regardless of whatever altcoins we're buying, whatever we're doing in the market. But yeah, I just think it's kind of interesting how all of this is playing out. So another thing that happened is shout out to Zach.eth, Zach XBT. So we had Telegram, which Ton chain is actually one chain I really don't focus on. I've never truly dove into it, looked into it as much as I should have. But I found this pretty interesting. So the founder here put out this tweet. It happened. Our decentralized confidential compute network, Cocoon, is live. The first AI requests from users are now being processed by Cocoon with 100% confidentiality. GPU owners are already earning ton. Cocoon.org is up. So this is something that I think, even for myself, like I actually do not use Telegram too often at all. But the fact that this is kind of opening up even more interesting infrastructure in a way. I really want to start paying attention back into this ecosystem. Um, I wanted to bring this up because, even through all of this bearishness, even through it's over, everything's going to zero, it's like you still have a lot of teams, lots of projects delivering on random things. We actually had another token just launched called Rails. Tons of different random coins continue to launch. Iris is another one that launched the other day. Big data project as well. We had A16Z crypto. They actually posted this as well. This is kind of talking about the mesh intersection of crypto and AI. Bunch of different stuff, but I was gonna go into this too in depth. But A16Z crypto, they have a lot of different articles and different things that they post. This is something that definitely, if you guys need to be reading stuff, you want to focus on potentially what is next, what you should be looking at in the market. A lot of times, stuff that they're posting is, spot on in many ways. And as far as different things that I've been looking at lately in the market, I do think that robotics as well has still been a major narrative that I've been keeping up to date with on and off, but robotics tokens are not doing anything, right? Another one too is actually right here. It's a DPIN. A DPIN itself, not just, DEP AI, like decentralized physical AI, but there are a lot of DPIN projects itself that are doing more than I would expect. A lot of DPIN projects are actually looking fairly interesting in where they are. And it seems like as we move forward going into the next few months, even year or two, I feel like a lot of apps themselves are going to be kind of what takes over crypto. I mean, we're already seeing it with something like prediction markets. I get a tweet about Kalshi coming in a minute, but I think there are going to be a lot of deep in projects that, whether they generate real revenue, they got an actual use case utility. Deep in itself, I think, is going to be a huge rendition of the future of where crypto kind of turns into. It might take a long time as well, but Deep in itself is something I've been looking at. This video, I'm not going to really cover any altcoins in this sector yet, but I will probably put a video out at some point because this is a narrative that I've seen for a long time, but I have not ever truly dove in as far as on YouTube or putting any content information together like that. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, this is just like a big list of stuff. You can check this out. Like I said, I'm not going to really go through it, but A16Z Crypto, they have a lot of good articles. Also, Masari too. Masari has a lot of great articles as well. Yeah, and as far as tweets, I mean, Coinbase has been going on a tear. I think literally over the last like 2 days, I think they've added a ton of coins. They added Plasma as well, which I still like Plasma, even though it is getting obliterated to zero. They added Plasma, Rails, I think a couple others. Sui built a New York residence. Yeah, they're just kind of going crazy, adding a lot of coins, at least a few. But like I said, even through all the chaos, there's always things happening in the market, even when prices are unbelievably down bad. But that's where we continue to research, continue to look at things, and just wait for the market to play out, do what it has to do. If things start looking better, we can then jump back into a lot of stuff if we want to. And I think a lot of the narratives itself that we are continuing to be bullish on, I think it might just take some time because of sentiment right now. But I have a feeling that going into the next maybe week to 2 weeks in December, as long as short term Bitcoin does not want to break below this, I think we are actually going to hold, and there may be some catalysts that can at least push crypto back towards kind of where I'm still targeting, which is anywhere around 100K, maybe 105, 108K range. But that, like I've been saying, I think if we do hit that, right, it's always going to be an if. But if we hit that range, that is where I want us to be very, very cautious going into the rest of the year, even into January and most of 2026. So that's what I wanted to cover today, guys. Give you another update. yeah, I was gonna bring up a few coins that I'm still looking at, but I guess just to throw it in there, guys, MetaDAO. You know, I haven't really talked about it on the channel. This has been one I have been watching for a while now, but same thing. If sentiment can just pick up again, there are a lot of coins that I think will have a massive bounce, and something like MetaDAO. This really could be something that has a lot of strength due to its ecosystem performance through all of this downturn. You know, so outside of that, that is what I wanted to cover in the video today, guys. I appreciate you watching, and I will be dropping more videos on some narratives, different stuff going forward, as long as the sentiment can continue to look better going into December. But from that, I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.